But we'll just play it out. We'll play it out for now, and hopefully we'll get it right for the next map. Yeah, if you can maybe just like point it out for them again at the end of this game, Carver, and then hopefully we can get them on the absolute correct settings. Obviously, the original Highland's still fairly similar. One of the major differences is the elephant spawn is a lot less consistent, but I will just focus on the game for the time being. Looks like MrMorec kind of overshot the central elephants there. Oh, he just narrowly missed them. He does spot one now. I don't think... Oh no, both of them spot that one there. But yeah, obviously there would still be the central elephants, and I think the outer ring elephant haven't been changed either. It's just your home elephants, the range that they can be from your TC has been tightened up a little bit in the Rise of the Ancients version of the map, but we'll have a see what's tangling on down here. It's going to see that one other elephant as well. Is he going to get the block off? C3mbrich with a little bit micro the villagers. Bring the second villager to try and field that one off. C3mbrich has the high ground here, so MrMorec does need to be careful. And if I was C3mbrich, I'd probably just tag this elephant and run. Ooh, that was very close. C3mbrich just about getting away with that. And I think at the end of the day, that probably is going to favour C3mbrich just slightly, because he's going to get those two elephants, and MrMorec had to commit the second elephant here. I've actually just noticed the civilizations that have been chosen here, and MrMorec going with the Hittites, which I was thinking was going to be his inside-out civ, and chosen from C3mbrich. I have seen the chosen often being picked on a Highland. Sometimes people just use that as like a sort of throwaway civ to try. If your opponent goes Shang on the first map, you don't want to play against Shang with one of your own strong civs, because Shang is kind of just the best civ. So it's usually better to just face up with a slightly weaker civ and hope your opponent doesn't play well in that situation, or maybe you can just outplay him. So I don't mind that, but yeah, Hittites is very unusual for this map here. And like I said, C3mbrich getting that extra elephant. I think, yeah, just to go talk about the differences between the maps again for the ROTA version. I believe the other thing is that the woodline spawn has slightly changed, but I can't remember if that is true for Highlands or if it is for just a handful of the maps. Carl would be better at pointing that out, but I think some of the woodline spawns have changed for a few of the Rise of the Ancient maps, maybe not specifically Highland, but I know the elephant spawns is definitely a thing. So storage pit going up from MrMorec. Next to his gazelle there on that forward wood line. Just having a look at the base now. It's kind of got quite a big open area here, but that is wallable there. This may be a little bit more difficult. It's a bit further from the base. Maybe take a bit too long. I think that is just about, yeah, closed off. And yeah, but on the other flip side, C3mbrich much more open on his base. So fairly open for both players, but maybe just a little bit less so for MrMorec. Villager coming forward for C3mbrich now, as he is on the way up to the tool age, just a little bit faster than MrMorec is, and MrMorec's going to maybe spot. Yeah, they're definitely going to. Oh no, they're not going to see each other. Just going past. Two villagers from MrMorec going a little bit slower. And it's, yeah, only 19 villagers for C3mbrich, so they've got the same idle TC time, but he went up one villager quicker, or less I should say, so he's a little bit quicker up. Barracks is going up now. Two villagers forward from MrMorec. I don't think, yeah, not quite seeing his opponent just yet, but he's in the right sort of area. I guess he sort of saw when MrMorec was leading the elephant back, which was a very good tell for C3mbrich there. Whereas MrMorec hadn't really advanced as far into his opponent's part of the map. Obviously, it looks like he's a little bit off at the moment, so it may take MrMorec an extra half a minute or so to actually find his opponent. Tool age not quite in yet, so that is a second barracks coming up from C3mbrich, which may be just going to click axes straight away. Obviously, the chosen with those slightly healthier axes, and also they get a slightly cheaper storage pit techs, which is going to be a nice boost in this early phase of the tool age. And we'll see if C3mbrich can get this to stick. Obviously, just 1 or 2 clubbers or axes isn't really an issue if you've got that needlework technology in. MrMorec doesn't have that in just yet. He may start researching it now, although it doesn't feel too afraid yet. Archery range going up for MrMorec. And let me just have a look. Axe upgrade is in now. Still no. Yeah, so a single axer is going to be. Oh, no armor actually in just yet. It's just being researched now. But these villagers without the needlework in are going to be suffering. And these early axes are going to be able to do a lot of damage. A couple of close walls. I think he doesn't need this second one here. Archer range forward as well from C3mbrich to follow up on the axes. And slingers being added as well. C3mbrich running a little bit short of food. He's got clubbers in his own base to deal with. And I didn't see... Yeah, no upgrades for these clubbers yet. So now needlework is in for C3mbrich. He can actually just beat these clubbers one-on-one. And MrMorec fighting back, but again, no needlework in, so it's going to be a little bit tough. But eco kills are back and forth. C3mbrich needs to be a little bit less afraid here. Again, this may be just a little bit of lack of knowledge of Return of Rome. You can easily beat that many clubbers with this many villagers. So C3mbrich being a little bit too scared there. Storage pit trying to go up on the middle of the map. It's a little bit of a dangerous place to try and get that, because if MrMorec does try to push forward, you'd imagine that like that area of the map is probably where he would try to push through. But 4 eco kills for C3mbrich, so he has technically done a little bit more damage, and you can see is MrMorec actually adding in villagers. C3mbrich, where is he on food? He's just on these berries at the front, but I think, yeah, MrMorec is going to spot that now, so clubbers might be pulled through. And I'm amazed MrMorec's managed to get so much damage done with just clubbers. Like, yeah, not a single upgrade on these clubbers, and C3mbrich is playing far too timidly against those. And again, maybe just a little bit of lack of experience. C3mbrich does have like the more powerful army himself, and it has managed to get a handful more villager kills actually in as I was speaking. I was just looking at the wrong part. But clubbers in again. C3mbrich not paying attention, but yeah, again, C3mbrich could easily take this fight with needlework villagers. So this is just a little bit clumsy. I don't know exactly. I guess he's focusing over here. And just a little bit lack of multitasking from C3mbrich here. Early game. Still in the balance though. 6-6 now. And I feel like C3mbrich would be like winning this by an absolute landslide, but unfortunately, like I said, just doesn't seem to be able to focus on both sides of the battle on the map at once. You just see all these villagers just be individually being chased down. I feel like I've just never... Okay, finally starts clubbing the villager. With the villager, sorry. Now C3mbrich should be easily able to clear this up. And now the battle reigns forth here. But I think, yeah, MrMorec now has enough bowmen to beat this back. And these are Hittite back. And GG's just called. And that was... No, not the... I don't want to be like overly critical, but that was a fairly poor early game from C3mbrich there. He put himself into a very good position initially, but then so in we go to game 2 of our best of 5 between MrMorec and C3mbrich in the lower bracket of the Earth to Iron 1v1 tournaments. And let's have a look at the map here, because like I said, we have MrMorec on the Palmyrans, C3mbrich on the Assyrians, and both players have a berry patch forward. That's sort of the main sort of random element to this map spawn. Sometimes you get 2 back here, but both players have 1 berries back, so it's a little bit more balanced. C3mbrich's berries in a little bit more awkward position. He may have a tough time finding those ones, as you normally expect for your berries to sort of be around the back, this area here. So it's a little bit unfortunate the spawns there. It might, like I said, be a little bit tougher for C3mbrich to find those. There you can see there's more consistent spawn from MrMorec. Sometimes you do get them sort of spawned by the edge, like here and here. But like, because C3mbrich is kind of on the corner here, it makes that spawn a little bit more awkward. And so it'll be interesting. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how this game might play out. I think this is probably just going to be a fast bronze situation. And I think, to be fair, in the early phases of the game, the Assyrians may have a bit of an advantage just because they have that stronger chariot archer if it does go to the Bronze Age, of course. But then, if MrMorec can hold, then I think just the much stronger economy of the Palmyreans should eventually shine through. Also, Palmyreans do get nobility on their chariot archers, so even though they don't do as much damage, they can tank a few more shots. Katie's calling a total massacre. I mean, neither of these civs is like massively strong in the early game. You can do some shenanigans with Palmyreans. I'm still not convinced. I ran some of the numbers and I'm still not convinced that it is a good play as the Palmyreans. But some players do like to go 16 pop up as Palmyreans and then just try and play off the 16 vills. I've seen it before. I'm sure I'll see it again. But it's much better to just go a strong early game civ and rush with them than do that as the Palmyreans. But yeah, MrMorec is already on 20 vills, so it isn't going to be that. 21 vills for C3mbrich going up. So sort of the middle ground from the normal fast tool and the fast bronze number of villages. Normally it's around sort of 23 villages. MrMorec going maybe a few villages too many because, like I said, he is Palmyrean. So those are more expensive villages, and does mean he's going to have a pretty strong economy once he gets himself up to that age. It just means he's going to be a little bit more vulnerable for a little while longer. But again, Assyrian's not the best at doing anything early on, mostly because they don't get the slinger, so it's almost impossible for them to really break through the walls in the early game. But barracks is going to come up, but again, the Assyrians do not get the slinger, so this push is going to be very weak if that is what we are going to see. Hopefully, C3mbrich is aware that the Assyrians don't get the slinger. He's only on the single barracks for the time being, that said. This might just be a poke. I mean, he has 2 villages though, so it feels like it must be something more serious than that. And MrMorec is on the way up. And second barracks is going up. There's no clubbers in the queue. Archery range. Okay, cancels the archery range now. But archers do a pathetically low amount of damage to walls. It's actually... They do the lowest, which is 0.2 damage per shot. So it's like literally takes them 5 shots to do 1 damage to a wall. Some clubbers are coming out. And bows are coming in, and this is the sort of position where MrMorec could literally just put down a tower and he'd be completely fine. And obviously to have to research that, he doesn't quite have the food actually to go straight up. He is making slingers. I think the best response here would literally just to plant down a tower though. But slinger is also fine. Battle axe coming in. And MrMorec will need to do something to react to this. He doesn't want to just let his gate go down, but it looks like he's actually not going to go for the fast bronze play now, as he is committing a large number of resources. He's built the 2 barracks, yeah, quite a large number of resources to the slinger. Market is down as well, so I suspect we'll see stone mining being clicked as soon as MrMorec remembers to do so, unless he already has done it. I don't think I did see it. Okay, it doesn't show stone mining on here. For some reason I don't get this. It shows gold mining and not stone mining. But yeah, wall being repaired, and the bow's not being able to do enough there. Village is still being added in by C3mbrich. Obviously, like I said, Palmyrean villages are going to have that extra 25% working bonus. And we'll see how this woodworking, interestingly, in first. I mean, obviously it is just nice to have that as an eco bonus to all your woodworkers, but it's a little bit curious that stone mining wasn't the first click. And we don't have conquest victory on. God dear me. So hopefully that doesn't make a difference. Well, I mean, I guess MrMorec can just go up and claim the ruins if he's that worried. I mean, I can't see this staying in the Tool Age. MrMorec's on 29 vils as the Palmyrans. He's going to have 800 food very soon. And yeah, it looks like C3mbrich isn't making units anymore. And he looks like he is just working to the Bronze Age. So again, I don't really know what the idea was here. Again, like I said, Assyrians don't get Slinger, which makes those early rushes very difficult for the Assyrians. Because you can just tower or bow of your own from behind your walls, and it makes it very difficult for them to come through, because you can just... Yeah, in fact, bowmen I think is better to defend against the Assyrians, because you don't need to attack the Assyrian bowmen, you just need to get rid of the axes. But yeah, C3mbrich clicking up to Bronze Age, so there was just a little bit of early tussling around, and Bronze Age for MrMorec as well. But at this point, 32 villagers for the Palmyrans, and that's obviously 20, like I said, effectively 40 villagers at this point. So we have a look at the resources gathered. I'm sure that the gap is already opening. Yeah, it's already over 1,000 difference, and that's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger of a gap. Like I said, the Assyrians do have those... Ooh, stable actually came up at the back. I'm not sure when that did come up. And okay, C3mbrich did find his berries as well. But yeah, so the Assyrian chariot archer is quite nice, but I think it's just going to be easier for the Palmyrans to just mass more chariots, as well as, like I said, they get the nobility, so once that is in, it kind of negates a small amount of the Assyrian bonus as well, because the Assyrians don't get nobility, of course. Taking gold. I mean, he may be considering cavalry. He did make a stable. But yeah, that is a little bit curious. Obviously, you do expect just chariot archer as the initial play. We're still only on the single archery range from C3mbrich. And I have a scout actually coming out from MrMorec, and just the bear getting a little bit involved in the tussle there. Government centre coming up from MrMorec. And interestingly, he's getting the upgrades for that scout. And maybe he's gonna... Oh, it looks like he's seen the berries here. He wants to just get the scout in there. I mean, if C3mbrich does get needlework, though, the scout is going to be not very useful. But obviously, that is still a commitment of TC time. MrMorec floating a lot of wood. But, I mean, the scout is going to get value in. So that is going to be 2 vils killed. So you could argue that's already value out of those pit techs already for MrMorec. And nobility is already coming in as well. No wheel yet, unless... Is wheel in? That doesn't look like wheel speed to me. So I don't know if MrMorec's just forgotten to click wheel. Maybe just didn't have the food at the time. Might need to cancel a few villagers just so he can click wheel in. And yeah, chariot archers are coming in now for C3mbrich. Again, I'm not 100% sure why we have 4 on gold. It's a little bit unusual. And now we've got artifacts. I've actually never seen that before in Capture Age. That's all the artifacts held. Yeah, obviously we should technically be on Conquest, but it's very unlikely the game actually gets decided by any sort of control condition. And these tool units just going to get taken out by MrMorec there. So actually this thing can still be a little bit of a threat in terms of being able to punch through, yeah, the wall here, and he is going to be able to do so. MrMorec actually committed to making some cavalry units, which is a little bit of a surprising one. Palmyrans, I should say, do get the... I think it's the faster moving camels, which can be a fairly decent answer into chariot archers, but obviously cavalry can be pretty good before those chariot archers get massed up too much. Stone thrower coming out for C3mbrich at home. But yeah, not any immediate push out, and as I said, the longer this game goes, the more it favours the Palmyrans, and the slingers are actually in. And yeah, because all C3mbrich was making was chariot archers, which aren't a very good unit to deal with the slingers. C3mbrich trying to beat them back. No needlework in means these slingers are going to get an enormous amount of damage in. And CHEMBRICH just GG's. And that was strange. Like I said, they could punch through him, but we all watched it do it. And CHEMBRICH had the stable, he has the gold, he could have just made a handful of cavalry there